Hannah Murray on TRE in the afternoon.
Joining us on the line now is Wayne Sleep, OBE. He won a scholarship out of 250 hopefuls to the Royal Ballet School in 1961 and joined the Royal Ballet Company in 66, becoming a senior principal dancer. He's danced with ballet legends Rudolf Nureyev and Margot Fonteyn, partied with Freddie Mercury and performed with Princess Diana, becoming her close friend. In his intimate memoir, Just Different, he reveals the difficulties for a working class gay man in handling the prejudices of his generation and living through the AIDS epidemic, and looks back on the extraordinary times he's lived through. Welcome to the show, Wayne.
Thank you. That's nice. Glad to be here.
It's lovely to have you with us. And my goodness, how has it been writing this book and kind of sitting there and realising what an incredible life you've had?
Well, it was a catharsis, really. I mean, I didn't realise how much I'd done, and I thought I'd never get to the end of it. But and knowing, I think what I realised was I came through such a terrible time for homosexuals when it was against the law, and I thought I'd better write this down because there's no real record of it, what we went through in the 60s. And so I thought the young kids should know, what they're dealing with. And of course, it's legal now, so it's much better. And then, of course, the AIDS epidemic, when COVID came out, I was on a ship and I was stuck there for 33 days because I was lecturing on it. I was meant to be there 7 days. I was there 30 days. I suddenly remembered the AIDS epidemic, and it felt quite similar in a way. It was just catching hold of people, without any choice. It was like a thief in the night, taking people away from us, our friends who weren't promiscuous. And so I felt all this should be recorded, as well as when I got to the top of my profession with the Royal Ballet, and then I branched out, I realised I'm the only one who went into musicals in the West End. Andrew Lloyd Webber offered me the role to create Mr. Mistopheles in Cats. And I thought, wow, you must have been quite good, Sleep, what you did. And the other wonderful thing about it is being able to relate all my friends that I met. Because once you arrive at a certain level as a show business star or anything like that, you get to meet all these famous people you thought you'd never, ever meet in your life. And I'm such a groupie and I'm such a fan of these people. To meet them was just the icing on the cake.
Oh, I bet. And Freddie Mercury, I'm sure, must have been a highlight hanging out with him.
Well, of course, on his 40th birthday, the day before, he said, right, there's a plane waiting for you, Miss Sleep. He called me Miss Sleep. And Miss Sleep, and we called her Melina Mercury. And he said, there's a plane waiting for you. There's 50 of you. You're going to get on the flight this morning and you're going to come over to Ibiza and celebrate my birthday with me. And 100 other people were already there in hotels. He put us all in hotels. And the next day we had our own airplane back to England with a full crate of champagne in it.
Wow.
It was, yeah.
Oh.
And none of us slept. We just, enjoyed the party.
Oh, how wonderful. And you talk a lot in the book about your friendship with Princess Diana as well. You spent a lot of time with her one-to-one at your place and hers.
Yes, we kept everything very quiet in that situation. She could come to mine, first thing she did was take her shoes off and sit on the couch with her legs up on the settee. And then we just discuss the world at large and laugh and giggle a lot. And on her birthdays, every birthday, I was never invited over to the palace or anything, I was kept private. And but once you've danced together on stage and brought the house down with 8 curtain calls, you have a bind, for life. And that's even people at the Royal Ballet who I've danced with. You never forget those moments. And there's something that brings you so close about performing together and that never shook off, really. And I remember so many different things she used to say. And then she'd be in Munich and I was there as well. And I don't know I didn't know she was there, but one morning I was performing with my little group Dash that I toured the world with, 8 dancers and 6 musicians. And yeah, that was quite an exciting time too. And it was my day off. And the phone rang on a Sunday morning in my hotel in Munich. And they said, "This is your early morning call." I said, "I did not want an early morning call. This is my day off. Please get off the phone." She said, "It's Diana." I said, "I don't know any Dianas." "Diana who?" She went, "Wales." And it was the Princess of Wales. It was.
Oh, amazing.
And she said, "I'm giving you breakfast this morning." She said, "Come over to my hotel." So I went over to her hotel, got to the penthouse, and she had a pot of coffee and a pot of tea and said, "Morning, darling, I'm giving you breakfast today." Oh. And we sat and had breakfast.
How lovely. Lovely memories. Great. And let's go back to the beginning. I mean, even before the Royal Ballet, how and when did you realise how much you loved to dance and were good at dancing?
Oh, well, from birth, really. I waddled around the floor and I wanted to entertain, I think. I used to entertain my uncles and everybody. I had a one-parent family. I was on my own a lot. And I used to make up things, put blindfolds on my head. I mean, do crazy things. And we're at my Auntie Sybil's wedding, when I was 3 years old, apparently I saw a tall platform and I thought, "What's this?" And I crawled upon this platform. There was a curtain and I went behind it and found a big basket of props with wigs and everything. And I started putting them on and entertaining the whole family at the reception. And they said, "Take him off. He's making us laugh too much." And it was called the stage, of course, that platform. And I was just drawn to it. Yeah. And then when I was 5, they said, "You've got to put him to something." And the only thing you could put a boy to was a dancing school. And I was the only boy. And when I was 8, I went in for a competition and there was only 7 of us left. And they said, "You will put your son to Great Ormond Street Hospital tomorrow to have his wrist x-rayed to see how tall he'll grow." And my mother said, "We can't afford to stay the night. We haven't got any money. And by the way, it's our return fare. He's got to do to school in the morning." And so she didn't go. And if I had gone, I'd never have got the scholarship because I only grew to 5'2". And it's about the adversity of people saying you'll never get a job as a dancer. Ha, ha, ha. Prove them wrong.
Yes. And am I right in saying you were the shortest male in the Royal Ballet Company?
I am the shortest male to have ever got into a ballet company in the world.
Wow, that's incredible. So do you feel like you had to sort of work twice as hard to be seen? And
well, Nanette de Valois, who founded the Royal Ballet, who became a good friend of mine as well. God, I am showing off these names.
Oh, it's fine. Oh, absolutely.
Good. And I was going to take pills, hormones, to make me grow. And she said, "No, you can't, because they weren't scientifically proved then. I think they do now. A lot of footballers and people, they take hormones to grow and things." But anyway, so she said, "You mustn't take these pills. They're not going to be good for you. You're just going to have to spin twice as fast as everybody else and jump twice as high." So I did. And that's what got me in. I was a virtuoso dancer, yes.
Oh, fabulous. And I mean, there must be so many that you talk about in the book, but career highlights in terms of where you danced or who you danced with or who you danced for?
Well, my first career highlight was when I'd just done the Tales of Beatrice Potter, the film. The Tales of Beatrice Potter, where I played Squirrel Knockin' and one of the 2 bad mice. I think I played most of the Animal Kingdom, being so small. And they said, "Would you like to choreograph a film?" And I said, "Oh, why not?" And I was only in the Court of Ballet. I wasn't known then, you see. And I had to choreograph Angela Lansbury, David Niven, Peter Ustinov, Livia Hussey, Mia Farrow, and you name it. And I thought, my God, I'm amongst the elite of the elite. But that was just 2-minute perk, and since then it got bigger and bigger. So I suppose Eliza Minnelli was one. She used to invite me to her warm-ups in London because I was dress rehearsing Cabaret, the musical, and we met on a talk show. And she invited me to the Palladium, and I sat there. Was only about 10 people there. And she was going to be doing interviews, and she was warming up on stage for her dress rehearsal. And she said, "Come up on stage, Wayne." And I said, oh dear, I thought she was going to make me dance for them. And I thought, and she put a microphone behind her back, gave me a big cuddle, turned me to the back of stage and went, I'm going to make your day. I've just met Charles Aznavour and he's smaller than you.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, brilliant. Oh, love that. Love it.
I became a friend for ages.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Someone who you won't remember dancing on stage with because she was only in the chorus was my mother.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes. So my mother was Joan Weston. My mother's godmother was Joan Weston, who founded the Chelmsford Ballet Company.
Oh, right.
And,
yes.
And so you danced on stage, and my mother also did ballet, and she was in the chorus. So she.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go.
So that was.
You've got a claim to fame as well.
Yes, exactly. That was one of hers, definitely. And
okay.
And all the different charity works you do. I know you're patron for lots of charity. It's something that's very important to you.
I've got my own charity, the Wayne Sleep Foundation. I've had that now for 30 years. And we give top-up grants, like if they can't afford their lodgings, if something goes wrong in the family, and they're left out on the street, we rush to their aid. And it's ballet, jazz, tap, it's singing, musicians, actors. We now audition them every year. We get about 250 applicants and we get it down to 20. Then we give about 12 away once we've seen them live. Wow. And it goes to my heart to give back. So I'm very glad about that.
Yeah, lovely. And obviously, I know we mentioned it briefly, but one of the difficult parts to write in the book must have been going back to the AIDS epidemic. And I know you lost lots of friends. And I mean, how do you even begin to describe what that time was like?
Well, it was unfair, you see. I mean, a boy who was in the Royal Ballet who was called Julian, a beautiful blonde boy who was straight. He'd just come out of the closet, and the first person he had an association with gave him AIDS, and he died after the first time with a gay guy. And then other people survived it, but nobody deserved it that I knew. And the trouble is they didn't know what it could do. They thought you might get it by touching. Well, Princess Diana put an end to that fabrication. And when I went into this boy, who was a good friend of mine, one of my best friends, he had leukemia and he had a spinal cancer, and he was going pretty fast, like the river was flowing very fast for him. And he'd been in there 5 weeks. Then they found out that he had AIDS in his blood. They wouldn't let us into his room in the hospital. They locked the door. We had to get special permission. We had to wear rubber gloves and hats and aprons. We weren't allowed to touch him. And he died without a cuddle. And that was because of the AIDS epidemic. They treated them like vagrants and animals.
Yeah.
At first.
Yeah. Really heartbreaking. And I can see why you saw the similarities initially with COVID, because again, everybody had, for a while, everybody had gloves and protection and things like that. Yes. Very, very bizarre.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The world is a cruel place sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
And I've written about that as well. How you just don't know what's going to happen around the corner. And I'm still waiting for a job.
I was going to ask you what you're kind of up to at the moment. Have you got anything in the pipeline?
But I just did a little, not a little film, a short movie, a short film with Ian McKellen. I had a day on the movie and I was his Pilates instructor.
Oh, how wonderful.
So I had a few nights in that. Also, I do a one-man show now. I'm going on the cruises doing an audience with, and I lecture about my career with lots of film. That's on the cruises. But on land, I'm doing a cabaret and I have a pianist in myself. He's brilliant. And I do songs from shows I've been in and tell stories about how I got the part and things like that. And then I do big tap number. I even do a duet from an opera, because you can do things in cabaret you can't do in the theatre. And so I'm developing that, and I'm hoping to go around the country doing my cabaret act.
Oh, how wonderful. I feel like you'll always be performing. It's in your blood, isn't it?
Yes, can't help it. Can't help it. I just love doing it. If I get good ideas, I'm on.
Yeah, nice. And is there anyone who you haven't worked with who you'd really like to?
Oh, you.
I'm in.
I can't answer that question.
No, it's difficult. I mean, you've worked with so many. I know you're also coming to Gibraltar, which is very near where our studios are, the Gibraltar Literary Festival, and doing a talk there about your book and your life, which is exciting.
Yes, it is very. I've been to Gibraltar before. I do workshops also for children, and so I can come over and do another workshop for you if you like.
Oh, nice.
I did one about 10 years ago. Yeah. And one was with Jane Melville in Marbella.
Yeah, a friend of mine, known her for years. I did some tap with her many years ago.
Oh, great. Well, there you are. She'll be coming.
Oh, yes,
So
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Good stuff. Well, it's been lovely to chat with you, Wayne, and great that you've got this book out there telling the incredible story of your life, and people can get a copy of the book. It's called Just Different. It's available on our website, tre.radio, and it is by Wayne Sleep, who we've been chatting with today. Wayne, thank you so much for joining us. Lovely to chat.
Thank you. Lovely, and you.
Take
you were
care.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.